Hello, 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 and you're welcome back to Out of the Mud presents Let's Talk with Big Tone, episode 7. And he has a special guest, Mr. Willie Buford. Let's go, Tone.
That's what's up. I want to say, what's up to everybody? How y'all been doing? I miss y'all. I got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I know the championship, the college championships have went down, and I'm gonna say what's up to Connecticut for beating South Carolina. I know South Carolina was the favorites going in, but UConn. Did you see the game?
No, I just seen the highlights of
You
it.
see
So,
that? You
yeah,
see, it was
yeah.
it was a real good game. I didn't think that UConn was gonna beat South Carolina like they did playing in that thing. I think the guard took over the game. Page took over the game. And, like I said, it was that was entertaining. The Florida Houston game in the
Yeah,
boys. That was
you got it. Who
real entertaining.
Yeah.
Like it is, I can't believe that Florida has won another national
That's
championship.
what I said. It's been a while, and here they go again.
Yeah. Have I didn't think that the guard that they got I can't remember his name that's plays for Florida. He was scoring 30 some points a game and things like that. But you I know you've been checking out the NBA.
Oh, yeah, that's my thing
That's
right there.
that's yeah.
Yes, sir.
I know
Yes,
you.
sir.
Who do you like in the league right now in the East?
In the East.
In the East, who you taking in the East?
In the East, my surprise team is definitely going to be the Detroit Pistons.
The Pistons?
Oh, yeah. Did you see with the work they put on the Knicks last night?
I didn't see that game, but you think the Pistons is going to end up actually taking the East?
And I don't know. Boston's going to take it.
Definitely.
Even though Cleveland is killing right now.
Cleveland's
I think they got the best record in the league, or at least the best on the East.
right.
And they killing the league, and they look good. But I just think that Boston is a sleeping giant. You know, they've been
Tatum
they've
and
been on
all of
cruise
that.
control. They got a healthy Porzingis, and
Yeah.
and you can't forget that dog at guard, Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday is stepping up. He's starting to. I think he's a integral part of Boston winning to make the whole thing go around.
Yeah. Drew Holiday making Dame making Dame career look bad. Dame took his spot, and look what the Bucks doing now.
Yeah.
And Drew went over there and still won the championship. He was the missing piece for the Bucks and for the Celtics.
And it's crazy with Dame time, man. Mm-hmm. I thought that was gonna be good to go to the Bucks, but it don't seem like him playing.
I don't know. They can't get it figured out. I don't know. They just got a new coach, right? Didn't they?
Yeah, they did just get a new coach. What do you think about? What does everybody think about the trade that we got with Luka to the Lakers? Luka to the Lakers.
Man, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Like last night. Was it last night or the other night when they played against the Lakers?
Right.
But Luka was there. You seen how emotional he got about that, right?
Yeah.
And then how he just kind of dropped that right there and let them boys have it.
Right.
But in the crowd, they were yelling, "Fire Nico! Fire Nico! Fire Nico!"
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a GM. So I don't know. They might have his head for this one.
Hey, I was wondering, how do you trade? He was to me, he was Luka is in top 2 players in the league. I don't understand. I think it had to be some type of inner friction between the organization and Luka, because I don't think that's him trading Luka for Anthony Davis, who stays hurt all the time.
That's wild.
Like, so yeah, I think they definitely gonna have his head. Do you think that with Luka, that could actually, does that put the Lakers over the
top?
Over the top?
I don't know, because there's so many sleepers in the West that's coming alive right now.
Right.
I do believe that it makes them better than they were with AD.
Right.
For sure. Even though they're smaller.
You think that but they're quicker too.
Yeah, they are.
They're
They are.
quicker. They're a lot
They are.
quicker
They are.
with Luka.
Yeah, because LeBron's playing that spot that AD wanted to play now.
Right,
and
right.
So they're quicker, and that makes their defense better.
Yeah, yeah. I do think that makes the defense better. I think it would be epic if it came down to a Lakers Boston finals.
Oh yeah.
That would be
it could be setting up for that too.
That could be real interesting having the Lakers play Boston in the finals. That would
it's amazing because Magic got to play against the Celtics. Kobe got to play against the Celtics.
Kobe, with the when they had the big three, right?
They played against them two years or 2 times, right?
Yeah.
The first time the Celtics beat Kobe.
Right.
And the next time the last time Kobe won, they beat the Celtics, right?
Yeah.
But then you ought to have LeBron play against the Celtics as a Laker would be huge. It would be huge.
That would be a huge I think if that happened and LeBron wins that game, that does that put him like, do we call him the GOAT?
I think it'll be like when Magic came with Kareem that rookie year. I think LeBron will go out one game and Luka start at the tip off and throw some hook shots up or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Luka Magic. I think it'll turn to Luka Magic if they win. It'll change another guard.
Oh man!
Because we know how far LeBron can get you, and then we know at the end of big games, LeBron want to pass the ball sometimes, or he want to make the right play.
Right, and that's the big hold up they say about LeBron.
Yeah.
Is LeBron a killer? Does he have that killer instinct like Jordan? If you out there, call into the show and tell me, does LeBron have it? Does he have that killer instinct?
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure.
I think he does. I just think it has to be activated. Like when you see it activated, he goes hard.
Yeah.
But other than that, he on cruise mode a lot.
You will see, and it's crazy because he kind of now getting up in age. He kind of now has to pick his spots and everything like that because he's not 23 anymore.
No.
But So did you get a chance to see you said you didn't see the Minnesota Bucks game. The Minnesota played Memphis last night.
No, but I seen some of the highlights.
Oh my God. I didn't know how good Anthony Edwards is. I seen him. That was to me, that game last night was the most competitive game that I've seen.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that Anthony Edwards and Ja
were going at each other, weren't they?
Anthony Edwards had 44, Ja had 36.
Wow.
And it was epic. It kind of almost seemed like it was they're trying to see who's going to be the face of the league now.
I was just going to say that. Because remember, before Ja went out, he was on
Ja
the
was
rise.
that dude.
He was ascending, right?
Yeah.
And then even last year, it was all about Anthony Edwards. He kind of fell back now because their team isn't as good,
right? With
the trade they did with for Towns.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, though, those two, it was like I think that's going to be an epic battle.
That's going to be right? That's going to definitely going to be a future a big battle. I think if Noka and Luka, where do you if you had to put Anthony Edwards, if you had to put him rank him in a league right now, where would you put him at?
He would not. If he's top 10, he's toward the bottom of it.
Anthony Edwards?
Just because I'm still I still think even though you lose your athleticism, I still think Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Giannis, I still think these guys are at the top of the top of it,
the league right now.
And then kind of and then you got to put in your Jason Tatum, and, you know what I mean? So
right.
Then you kind of get to Edwards because he's still young.
Right.
He's still young, so he's getting there.
Right.
He will be there, but he isn't there now. There's a lot of talent in
Hey,
the league.
hey, go over that list again. I want to do something. Do that list.
That
again.
list again, I can't even remember what I said. So with the Steph Currys, the LeBron Jameses, the Kevin Durant's, the Giannis Antetokounmpos, like you know what I mean. The OG's still in the game, holding it down.
Yeah.
I just want the money to go.
There we go.
Yeah. How George, you who do you like in the league? You've been watching the NBA right now?
Look, I watch all the sports that I don't watch sports.
Okay.
Oh, you don't.
So I do Out of the Mud stuff and Veterans Are Now stuff
Nice.
and listen to music.
Yeah.
So I love sports.
Right.
I'll play them
Right.
Okay.
if my legs still work.
Right.
But I'm not huge. I just know all the big names like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But I'm more athletic than most people, though. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
if that means anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of switch topics a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
I was wondering if anybody has actually seen the interview that Kanye West did with
which one?
The one he did when he had the KKK
oh wow
outfit on and
wow
all of that, and it was really I really like Kanye. I like his music and everything, but I think he's starting to do things that look kind of weird. Like to me, that looked kind of weird to me. Him doing that and saying some of and saying a lot of the stuff that he was saying. And if I don't know if you guys had to look at like when they came in to interview him, he had on the Sean John t-shirt with the little swastika. And I was like, man, you doing a lot of stuff that's kind of crazy. What you did you check that out? That definitely shock value. Yeah. You checked it out, George?
I did.
You did?
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of stuff that I
what did you think about that interview? What did you think about a lot of the stuff he was saying?
I believe that I look at it more from a macro instead of a micro view. Okay. The micro view is say, oh wow, he's so offensive. What kind of Negro would wear something that against Negroes? Mm-hmm. So look at the conversation and the communication that he's been spewing the last 5-6 years. A narrative has been created, yes, and he's continually said that narrative, and nobody, because everybody is in system mindset in a certain space, right, the comfort space, nobody's paying attention to what he's saying, and then other people don't have the kahunas or the brazenness in order to do and say what he's saying. So I don't want to make it seem like he's some kind of genius and doing something that's super amazing. But the narrative of what he's saying, like, look, I can go out on the red carpet and tell my wife to wear absolutely nothing, right, and nobody's going to take me to jail. Nobody's going to put me in the hospital. Nobody's going to do anything. They just say, "Oh, that's fashion."
That was insane. Yeah. He's got the power. It's got to be some type of power.
It's the rule. He's looking at the rule of society, and then on the other side of it, I can wear a swastika. No, not. Let's take that out yet. I can wear a Ku Klux Klan outfit, and everybody is going to be offended by that. But nobody's gonna put me in the hospital or jail or anything like this. But as soon as I say I got bad contracts, as soon as I say that something's going on, as soon as I say that they done stole the money I earned out of my bank account, right, as soon as I tell you that my fitness instructor is trying to put me in the psycho ward, as soon as I tell you that my children I don't have access to, and I got enough resources to do whatever I want to do with my children, y'all ain't paying attention. I'm trying to show y'all where the true power and the true cabal lie, and y'all don't want to hear it because y'all just want to hear me shut up. Mm-hmm. That's my overall view of it, and because of that, he keeps getting people that don't understand because they're just, you got a job, you're making a certain amount of money, so you're comfortable in this zone, and you don't understand that you are a slave to a thing because you don't really have a voice.
I think everybody once you get in any type of business or any type of thing, once you get as high as Kanye is, um, they start to try to pull you down and kind of not make you as
Mhm.
big as you're trying to get. Like he was talking about how um he was making all of the money on Adidas, and when they thought he was getting too big for Adidas, they snatched that from him and gave it to somebody else, and it didn't do as good. So I do think Kanye West has he's a genius, you know what I'm saying? But I do think a lot of the stuff that he does is for shock value and to bring attention to him. Like I feel like with him, can just continue to make good music. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta wear a swastika.
But he says he's doing that too. He's saying he's still number one. His album's still moving, unlike anybody else's.
Oh yeah, he's still
So
making
he's still getting nominated for Grammys.
right.
Tamika Buford Thompson said he's seeking attention.
Right.
He seeks attention. Like,
Right.
So
It's
if I can weigh in a little bit,
yeah.
when you marry what he's doing with what Kendrick Lamar doing, it's all the same message, right? Right? And so Kendrick
Gotcha.
Lamar is on the early stages of what Kanye West has been in for a while.
Right.
So Kanye is extreme because, you know what I mean? Because he's been in this for a while. And
Right. You think he's seen more?
Yeah, he's had to see more. And one of the things about the game, the music game that I'm learning is none of the people get their music in the end.
Right.
There's always some
They
tragic,
masters it, yeah.
real quick death
very
or
rare.
something.
Very rare.
Like you never get your music, and as soon as you start fighting for it,
That's when.
So
that's when you're crazy or ostracized.
right. So I want to go on the other side of it, as if I was anti Kanye.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's an ignorant nut going out here embarrassing black people, doing all this stupid stuff
Mhm.
and belittling women. He's such a male chauvinist in the way he's doing. How could he not be when what he's doing to his wife? I'm sure she feels like she's entrapped. You know, and things like that. So remember, I'm
Mhm,
playing
the
both of the
other
sides.
Right.
So I'm saying, look at what he's doing. He's saying all kinds of discriminative things towards all types of people. He
Right.
won't
Mhm.
keep words out of his mouth. He needs to be shut up.
Right.
Okay, now
Right.
I'm in the middle. Shut up. But we have freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
Constitutional freedom of speech. So it doesn't matter what he said. He didn't say start a fire. He didn't create a
Right.
riot. He's not doing anything.
He's telling
to-
secrets.
Secrets. Okay, well,
Yeah.
people should do a better job at keeping them,
Yeah.
you know, or not telling him.
Yeah.
So, and then when it comes to rule of law or color of law, then if there are some things, then that needs to be brought up to the law so we can adjust those things and address those things.
I just think with him, like when I first seen him in the outfit, I didn't even click on the interview because I thought it was gonna be crazy until I start hearing
Mhm.
people saying things about it,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay, let me listen to what he was saying, what it was all about, and some of the stuff that he was talking about makes sense, but I say 70% of the stuff that he says um is just to bring attention to him, and he don't need money.
No.
He got plenty of money, so
Allegedly, so we think.
If I could take another perspective, it'd be an empathy one, right? Since when has Kanye been all crazy, right? We know he lost his mother
right.
and things of that
Right.
nature. We know he was shot, right? Ain't that how he started off, right? From being
Well, he was in a car
accident or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
he
So
was in a
all
car
this
accident.
trauma, right?
Right,
And so the empathy level could be, is he all right mentally, right?
right,
Right. And so what's going on? Like, instead of bashing him, how can we help him? Kind
Right.
of deal, right? That's just another perspective as well.
That's what's up. Yeah, he
So the one other side is like, I would like Kanye to shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
Some people just think
Yeah.
that I don't want to be a part. I paid him enough money so he can have his own medical bills
Yeah.
taken care of. Shut up and dribble.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then other people like, hey, this stuff is hilarious. You see how many people so uncomfortable off of what he said? It's
Hey,
crazy.
it did it make you uncomfortable?
Not at all. Because I want to understand the narrative of the conversation. Because I've been looking at the whole thing. Because I was a I was a Tupac fanatic and a
Okay.
Kanye West fanatic.
Right.
Okay.
When I moved to Georgia and I was in Atlanta, I went everywhere that I knew that I could think of that he was, or where his they
Well, you
did
can, yeah.
right, like where he shot them people, all of them. I'm like,
Everything.
dang, this is all that stuff. I
Okay.
went to different meetings when they was talking about the what was it, the codes that they was having for the Thug Life
Oh, the
codes and
Thug
all that
Life.
other
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
I was, all that stuff.
Okay.
Met some of the enlisted outlaws that you would never see, but if it was it was they was there.
The team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all kinds of stuff, and went from there. Fast forward, I'm still in Atlanta. Kanye's coming out. I'm getting ready to go to Piedmont Park to watch him do a free concert, and I didn't even get to see the concert because I was stopping a fight. These two girls was fighting, and I'm trying to get in the middle of it and stop people, and people egging it on. And the girl, when people grabbed one girl, the other girl reached out and bit the girl nose off.
What?
And I'm up here. I can't even watch the concert no more.
Wow.
Like this beautiful, beautiful girl just lost her beautiful nose. And this other girl chewing on her like bubblegum. Like,
wow.
See you later.
That's
this is a Kanye concert.
Vicious.
This is this Pink Polo dude concert.
Yeah, right.
This is not even a gangster concert.
That's right.
Like, why are y'all
college
tripping?
dropout?
Oh
right.
my goodness.
Lord.
I'm done.
Do you think like a lot of people said behind that thing that he's going to lose a lot of friends behind this? He's going to lose a lot of sponsors.
I don't think he cares.
No.
Why would you care when he's self-acclaimed a billionaire? So think about Adidas. When he was going through that and we was watching this dude, we was like, yeah, he's a billionaire. Oh, he just lost 600 million.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, but he still got 300 million. Like, or 4 or whatever. And then 4 years later, he's like, yeah, I'm a billionaire. I'm the richest rapper or black person ever lived. It's like, we don't know what that is for real. We just know he's saying it. And then it's like, wow. So why should he care when he's doing more and than the people that he helped get their millions and billions?
So I think
we got a couple comments. We got Tommy Boy say he's what you call a gifted mental case. Say mental illness is very serious.
Yeah, put it all together, right?
It's crazy because that's what they think is wrong with Kanye.
Yeah.
They don't think they think that he something's wrong with him mentally, and he's telling you, no, I'm not mental. I'm just trying to tell you things like you said from his perspective, how he feels. I don't think that he does. I don't think he makes us look bad as a culture, as a black people, but he does do a lot of shit that makes you like.
I think about Dennis Rodman. Remember when Dennis Rodman was on his slope and how he just kept escalating.
Right.
But then Kanye West, by craft, is an artist, right? And so a lot of it is art, right?
Right.
Yeah. Right. It is. But Dennis Rodman was the guy. I'll always pick him and AI in the team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good team to start with.
They I don't care who else I got to pick. They're gonna be the first two
to start with.
Yeah. Hey, so
Tommy Boy also said action speaks louder than words. So he's saying his actions tell us what's going on.
That's true.
Yeah. He's I seen where he said he was he lost access to his daughters and his kids and they were trying to take his money.
That's bonkers.
So
that's crazy.
I think that would make any man lose it. You're losing access to your kids.
And I don't understand I don't know what his legal situation is with his children, but if there's no legal paperwork saying that no, you can't see your children, that's redonkulous.
Yeah.
I don't like I said, I didn't think he had no paperwork saying that he can't see his kids. They just was like moving them. So,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
You got two wealthy people playing games with their children.
Yeah, wealthy people.
In front of the world.
In front of the whole world.
It's crazy.
So, I mean, if you're talking about mental health is real, what you think is going to happen with these children when they grow up and they realize that everybody was hating on their mom and dad or loving on their mom and dad, and now they looking like,
it's it's funny because like growing up in the community, mental health wasn't something that was real big in the community, and I think now people are starting to catch on to having your mind right, and talking to people really helps that.
Mhm.
You know, I think we should do that. What do you guys you think that what do you guys think about mental health
I,
and
I,
and
I think
talking to
COVID helped push it, right? When everybody had to experience it to a certain extent by getting out of their normal routines. And then I think that's what it takes to get things pushed for other people to feel what you're going to a certain extent, right?
Mhm.
And so when that happened, that's when you're seeing this, social, emotional
right
awareness and all these
right
different programs pop up, right? I
right
think it always should have been there. And I still think the resources pour to those who have it and not to those who don't. Like all the trauma that happens with young people here in Flint.
right
These kids don't get that counseling at their schools, not to an adequate level, right?
not to a certified therapist and things
Yeah,
that could
like
get to the bottom of
like
the
it
stuff.
should be.
Yeah,
And these
yeah.
are kids who are also been traumatized by the water situation. So
I
Right.
was
trauma on
thinking
top of
of
trauma,
trauma on
on
trauma.
top of trauma. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
So Tamika said he does make us look bad. He says the most insane, disrespectful things, all the money, and he uses it to be controversial instead of helping others.
Yeah.
That's Tamika. So going to what y'all were talking about with the mental health thing, COVID, in my opinion, it exposed all the crazy people. And that's why
What
people
you
got
mean?
divorced and all kinds of things. Like
You
I
had to
didn't
be
know
with
you
them.
was this,
you
You
this,
had
had
to
that.
be
to
with them.
yeah you had to
Like,
deal with them. You had to sit
so
in the
you just
house.
gonna sit there all day long and do whatever it is with it, and then like
Yeah.
soon as we can get out this house, I'm leaving you. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been doing this the whole time we was together.
Uh-huh.
So and then coming back to Flint, the state of Michigan failed Flint, Michigan when it comes to everything. Our political system, this water crisis that we still
Yes.
suffering from. We got $600 million. Allegedly, we got $600 million somewhere that's supposed
Came
to
into
go
the
to some
city,
people
right?
that were poisoned 10 times worse than toxic waste, and it ain't been dispersed out. Judges out here tripping. They ain't doing what they. People have failed Flint, Michigan, from the city to the county to the state to the federal level.
Flint was Flint was um a big powerhouse city at one time.
Man, we ain't talking about 100 years ago. We talking about right now in the last 11 years of being poisoned by water,
Yeah.
being under the guise of this COVID thing that happened. And you're talking about one tragic and traumatic thing to another tragic and traumatic thing to now we still back out here, and it's nothing has the only thing changed, we got to come back outside.
And who wants to come outside to an abandoned neighborhood, right? So that's trauma too. Just
Right.
being in the city alone is trauma. Sometimes when I leave out the city and I'm able to see the real world,
Right.
it's like, and then you come back in here and you got to brace yourself for, man, why it look like this?
Like going back into Plato's allegory of the cave. Like you chaining yourself back up and like gonna look at the shadows,
Right.
knowing that behind you is some real beautiful stuff. But you
That's right.
look, I'm trying to get everybody else to turn their head too.
That's
So I
it.
come back in here
That's it.
and keep telling them, like, turn around. Just
turn
turn around.
That's
turn
good.
around.
Yeah. That was insane.
And Tamika also said, I think black people think it is shameful to admit that that they have mental health issues.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was the mental health thing. I was going to touch on that. As a black man, I think it was taught to us to keep stuff inside and not talk about it. And I guess when black men, when they feel like they get more vulnerable and say, hey, well, this is wrong with me, or this is bothering me, I think it's shunned upon. It's not, it's you're not being a man if you have issues or like mental issues. But like I said, I think talking to I was the type of guy that felt like I ain't about to tell nobody my problems. I'm gonna deal with it myself. But as I got older and I started thinking about the things, I think talking to someone and getting it out and like getting it off your chest and having them show you how you could get around all these issues, I think is good. It's gonna make you a better person. I think.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah, I agree. You're right. It was, and just the construct of our society, men are supposed to hold things up and keep it in and strap up or get bootstraps or whatever the saying is, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. And then when you do say your feelings, or you're emotional, you're weak, right?
Yeah.
To a certain extent. So
Yeah.
but then it's a balance as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that's one of those things that, girls get baby dolls, boys get trucks kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
you don't even know where it come from, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, if I add to it, it's like this. I care, but I don't care as much as I used to what people think about anything. Because the last 10 years, being a somewhat public figure in this community, all of everything has been exposed.
Yeah.
Like I had to be in front of everybody, so people watch me lose my mind. They watch me break down. Those that were close enough to know, or those that were paying attention, seeing me when I had to go to Battle Creek and I was in the mental ward for whatever, because people was really playing with my emotions, and then I was having anxiety attacks that I ain't know what it was. I think having strokes and all this kind of stuff. I'm losing everything, but I'm also trying to give what I can. All those things. I was already 70% when I moved to Flint from North Carolina.
You mean 70%?
Disabled through the VA.
Right.
Okay.
And that was what was, if you don't mind me asking, like that's
it was everything from body to mental.
Okay.
So the collective was 70. So having PTSD, anxiety, depression, all this other stuff.
Right.
Short version of a long story. The reason why I got out of the military, because somebody made a phone call that was a lie and said that I had something in my vehicle that I did not. And so that created a whole thing, and the Marine Corps got real small. It was on Fox News in North Carolina. My face was plastered everywhere.
Wow.
And these people had ruined my life.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So I was trying to go to counter intel so I could connect to units and still be in and active and all this other stuff. And that wasn't happening. So when that dark space happened, and I got over 8 counties looking for me in North Carolina for something that I did not do, that somebody just created a narrative because they were lying on me for whatever reason.
Wow.
Didn't know them, they didn't know me.
Right.
Man.
They just felt like doing something and wanted to get me swatted. So when that happened, that changed everything. Fast forward, I don't trust nobody. Period.
Right.
When I'm telling people what happened, they laughing. And so I just got a whole face because either that or I'm gonna cuss them out. What I'm gonna cuss them out for? Because it's funny to them. Like, you say what?
Put you right back in that same place.
People walk up on you and they got guns drawn and everything, and I don't know. I'm like 6 months back from Afghanistan.
Wow.
So I didn't even get to decompress from what I dealt with there.
That's right.
From the blood and guts and stuff I saw there.
That's right. To right.
Not even to this day.
Yeah.
So I just have to go day to day and say that's life. That's how my life's gonna be.
So do you think going to see people has helped you?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Kept me from destroying people's lives, because I'm saying if that pressure that I get to relieve.
Yes.
Right.
Just saying different parts, because I ain't gonna tell everybody everything, but it's like then they don't realize who life they saved just from listening to me, from me just going and talk about something.
Right. Definitely.
Because when I went to the military, I didn't get trained to be a puppy. I didn't get trained to be they trained me to put rounds down range.
That's it.
And they didn't want you to think about it. They
Period.
didn't want you to have no feelings about it.
None.
I want you to celebrate it.
Yeah.
So
what makes the grass grow?
Yeah. Right.
So there you go. But going to what you're saying, yes, mental health is real. Yes, going to get assistance and help is one of the best things that I've done because even before all this happened, I saw I had an anger issue,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and it was based on just people being irritating. I went off on somebody that was like a big cousin of me because he was doing something that was dumb, and I'm just like, that don't make no sense. Like, just went off on one, and this was when I was on leave, coming here to visit my parents and everything, and I just went off on dude, and I'm like, man, I was ready to just,
Yeah.
break his teeth out his mouth,
Right.
and I'm like, man, what? Why did I do that? So as soon as I got back off of leave, I, with nobody's telling me, went and got some anger management
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, I'm not taking it back home. I'm not leaving the military with this in my life.
Right.
That's good.
And this is,
It's crazy. All of us been in the military too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the military, definitely, mentally, it affects you. The things that you see, the things that you have to do to stay alive. Like you said, you was a trained killer, and you got to be
a trained defender.
a trained defender. So, um, yeah, that might mess with people's mental and
180 days,
how-
you institutionalize. After 180 days, you
Yeah.
are institutionalized.
That's a
After
science.
180 days, you are institutionalizing whatever it is that you're doing. So if you're
Yeah.
a police officer for 180 days, you are institutionalized into that system. If you are a basketball player, whatever, when you're in the military, 180 days. That's why after 180 days, you rate certain benefits because you are never going to, it's never going to go back
Mm-hmm.
to what you were.
Mm-hmm.
right.
So those, and welcome home, and thank y'all for y'all service, both of y'all,
Same.
Right.
because you Navy Army, right, or Army
Right.
Army?
Navy.
Navy,
Navy
Army.
Army.
Yeah.
Okay, I was right the first time.
So we
So-
represented here, Navy, Army, Marines,
Most
right?
definitely.
Right.
Like,
Right.
hey, aren't ready for Marines yet, and thanks for the ride.
Right.
Thank
Hey,
you for
it's
the ride.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
All right.
yeah.
that's what they used to say.
Yeah, you know why they started the Marine Corps, right?
I know what the Marine Corps do.
Because the Navy couldn't protect themselves and they needed help.
The Navy need help. Huh?
Hey, look. Hey,
On the
right-
water. Huh?
Hey, guess what? This is what I said about that. Like the Navy right now, we didn't need no whole bunch of troops or people with guns or anything like that, because we could take you out from way away
Oh, yeah.
and not have to worry about that. When the guys that on my ship when I was in when it was like Desert Storm.
Okay.
And I used to go over used to have to go over there. And do you know what do y'all do when y'all were on ships? Do you know
What the
that
Marines do?
the
What they
Marines
do?
most of the times all they doing is jumping jacks, running in place. They're exercising.
What you talking about?
They're getting ready. Huh?
Yeah,
We're
they
trained defenders.
yeah. So
Trained defenders. Look,
So-
we can't eat cookies and donuts like y'all, man. We
Hey.
gotta be ready for something, man.
hey.
So all the military is set up to support the Army.
What?
We know that, right? It all
No.
started with the Army first.
You just want to be important. You just want to be important.
Hey, I'm not sure about that. I never heard that everybody.
Foot soldiers, Army infantry. That's what it all started.
Look, the
And
Marines,
then
we open the door for
Y'all-
everybody.
y'all
We
come and
believe
clear
in
it out.
chivalry.
Y'all
We
come
believe
and
in
clear it
chivalry. We open the door, let y'all in.
right.
You know, and once y'all in and y'all act like ping ping pow pow. We done did the blah,
Paul, you said you.
Yeah, you're right. Y'all clear it out. Y'all
Paul,
make,
you
y'all
said
make a
y'all-
little safe.
You said you was in artillery. You used to
I'm
shoot.
infantry. Yeah,
Infantry.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
ground on the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's crazy
So-
right there.
Yeah.
so the Marine Corps is like say, remember Harlem Nights?
Mm-hmm.
So Marine Corps, it was like da, 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 and then
Yeah.
the rest of y'all like ping.
Back-
Stop
back-
shooting
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but look,
Yeah.
I can remember shooting tomahawk missiles off and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The
Ooh.
to me, and I guess everybody, the Marines, the Army, is going to think that you guys are the best branch, but I really feel like the Navy is if we didn't have a Navy, the military would it wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't.
Definitely wouldn't be the same.
And it takes all. It
Yeah, it
takes
does.
all.
Yeah,
On a
yeah,
serious
yeah.
tip, everybody.
Definitely,
It takes
definitely.
everybody
Air
to do
Force.
it.
Now we got the Space Force.
Yeah,
It's gonna take all of it.
yeah.
It's gonna take
Yeah.
the satellite people too. So, but I'd like to say thank you to everybody that's active right now
Yes.
and reserve that
Yeah.
are
Truly.
standing up to
Watching over us
defend
right now.
That's right.
us, to have a thought process, to even have this dialogue,
That's
to
it.
be able to say what we're saying, regardless if we right, wrong, or indifferent, to be able to have a constitution, the oldest constitution on the planet right now, that only has been updated, but it has not been changed. So, and it has not been destroyed and rechanged. So there's some countries that are thousands of years older than the United States don't even have standing constitutions.
That's right.
So that's one of the things that I believe keeps us in the space that we're in, to be able to have some guidelines and some rules that, regardless of what the social issues are,
Mhm.
go back to the black and white.
Mhm.
If these things don't match with the law, or the law says certain things, you got to adjust them,
Mhm.
amend them. So when you have that, and you don't just have religious zealots and things like
That's
that
right.
to say like, oh, because you came out and you have an extra finger, we have to kill everybody. No, none of that. It's like,
Right.
what is the consistency of humanity in this sense?
Right,
That's good.
You know,
You're right.
so.
You're right. And for that, thank you.
right. Well, hey, I want to give it up to my boy George and George Grundy and James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield, for giving me the opportunity to do this out of the mud. This is the end of the show. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Tune in next week, where we're going to be talking about. We're going to be rating the inner cities, the black cities.
In Michigan, right?
In Michigan.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be a real good show. So that's us signing out.
This has been an episode of Let's Talk with Big Tone, episode 7, special guest Willie Buford, and this is the Out of the Mud universe.